And now, said Father Armand, is where I enter the story. The battle between Hun and Roman was fought at the end of June 451. The Romans were commanded by Aetius, a brilliant and celebrated general who had been held hostage by the Huns when he was a boy. Aetius knew Attila, and he knew the Hunnic ways. Since he had returned to the Western Empire, Aetius had done more than any man to keep Rome alive throughout the period of barbarian invasions. His army was not large enough to face Attila alone, so Aetius convinced tribes of the Alans and Visigoths to ally with him. Even though these dubious allies had a common hatred of the Huns, it was still a remarkable achievement on Aetius's part to have drawn them into an effective military relationship. The Huns were eager for battle. Attila's shamans looked at the entrails of cattle and the color of sheep bones and prophesied that the Huns would meet defeat on the Catalonian fields. However, they also foresaw that the commander of the opposing force would be killed. Attila must have thought this a fair trade, because he brought battle to Aetius and the Goths. Before blood was drawn, Attila stood before his assembled troops, clutching the sword of Mars in his fist. He told them, "It is a right of nature to glut the soul with vengeance. I shall hurl the first spear at the foe. If any man can stand at rest while Attila fights, he is a dead man."
Attila, you brought us to this accursed battlefield. Oh, you must keep the Romans from killing us all.
Бэлэн байна. Барилгачин. Барилгачин, 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 барилгачин. Амар минь тийм үү?
Барилгачин. 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 Тийм үү?
Барилгачин, барилгачин.
Захар
Мот тийм ээ.
бэлэн байна. Барилгачин. Амар минь дүү.
Барилгачин. Захар. Барилгачин.
Тийм үү? Амьтанд ичээж. Захар. Барилгачин. Bạn тийм үү? Захир бэлэн байна.
Барилгачин. Бэлэн барилгачин. Барилгачин.
Aşağı. Elden.
This river will run red with the blood of Visigoths and Romans.
Идлээ хүүсгэй. Бэлэн. Aşağı.
Тийм болтой. Барилгачин.
Aşağı. Burayın daş.
Тийм үү?
Амар мэндүү. Барилгачин. Захир барилгачин.
Бэлэн байна. Барилгачин. Захир. Барилгачин. Тийм үү? Барилгачин. Амар мэндүү. Барилгачин. Захир. Барилгачин.
Барилгачин.
Идлээ хүүсгэй. Бэлэн. Бурайын даш.
Тийм үү? Барилгачин.
Тийм үү?
Барилгачин.
Тийм үү? Right dash. Бэлэн нийтлээ гүйцэтгэе. Тийм үү? Нийтлээ гүйцэтгэе. Бэлэн Райден даш. Shot. Sans.
The Roman army lies scattered. Now there is nothing to stop our invasion of Italy.
Catastrophic battle, one of the largest and greatest the world has ever seen. the stream was turned to a torrent by the rushing of blood. I pity those that were forced to slake their thirst from it. Cadavera vero innumera, the Romans said afterwards. Truly countless bodies. Perhaps 300,000 men were left dead on the Catalonian fields. It is said the ghosts of those killed continued to fight for several days. I passed within inches of the fell Hun king as he stalked the battlefield, trying to determine which of his chieftains and allies yet lived. When he found me, huddled beneath my shield, I made my peace with God. But Attila did not seek my decapitation. He saw that I was a holy man and ordered me to join his retinue of foreign advisors. That is how you know so much of the Huns, I offered. The priest nodded. Despite the carnage, the outcome of the legendary battle was unclear. Attila had lost much of his cavalry, but the Roman army would never recover from its losses. For a time, no one knew if the Hunnic king would continue to pursue the hand of Honoria. But what of the prophecy, I asked? Did Aetius die on the battlefield? Nay, it was Theodoric the Goth, not Aetius, who died and fulfilled the prophecy. Aetius knew that if he utterly destroyed the Huns, then the Visigoths would have no need for a Roman alliance, and Rome would face yet another barbarian threat. And so, Aetius retired from military life, hoping that the outcome of the Catalonian fields would leave the Huns and Goths in a stalemate. He hoped he had done enough to save his empire. He had not. As far as Attila was concerned, Honoria was waiting with open arms in Rome. The very next year, partially recovered from his losses, Attila turned his attention to Italy. The Huns crossed the Alps and moved down the Italian peninsula, launching another great invasion that terrorized the inhabitants of the Western Roman Empire. He meant to take Rome and crown himself emperor. This was not the Rome of Caesar, mind you, but a withering Rome, beaten from earthquakes and barbarian wars. And this time, there was no General Aetius to hold off the Huns' savagery.
Бэлэн
Амар
идэлэг
миндүү бэлэн байна. Барилгачин. 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 Барилгачин.
бэлэн байна. Тийм үү? Барилгачин бэлэн байна. Барилгачин.
Амар мэндүү барилгачин.
Tushar sans.
Before we pursue this wanton bloodshed any further, we request that you come personally to a meeting with Pope Leo I in Rome. Attila, might I have a word with you in private, please?
The city of Aquileia at the tip of the Adriatic was wiped off the face of the earth. The fugitives from that pitiful city took refuge among the islands, marshes and lagoons at the head of the Adriatic Sea, and there founded the town of Venetia, or Venice. But what of the Pope? I asked. No one knows what Saint Leo said to the Hunnic king, but that very day, Attila turned his army around and started back for the Hun lands on the Danube. Attila the Hun died shortly thereafter. Since he had failed to claim Rome, he could not have Honoria, and instead brought another wife into his harem. On his wedding night, Attila suffered a nosebleed and choked to death. For a man who had boasted that, where my horse has trodden, no grass grows, it was a curiously anticlimactic death. The Hunnic warriors cut their hair and gashed their faces, so that the king should be lamented not by tears of maidens, but by the blood of warriors. Attila's bloody reign of conquest lasted 19 long years. Father Armand was silent for a long time. He glanced over at the head on a stake. A Hunnic trophy, he said. I think the man was a Visigoth. He died at the Battle of the Catalonian Fields. I keep it here so that I may see it every day and remember. Remember what, Father? I asked him. The scent of a burning village, the sound of butchery, the way peasants would flee before the Hun riders, the way we would ride them down, the way it felt to conquer alongside Attila and the Huns. He leaned so close I could feel his breath. Sometimes, I miss it.